the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
For the first hit. Rutschman into right field. Down the line. A fair ball. Adley will turn first. Head for second. He's going to turn second. Go for third. Rutschman into third base standing. An extra base hit. His first hit in the major leagues. Welcome to the...
These are long pitch innings. I think Blister, that's what you were to make sure.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Back his bat's on the move. On the track. He's got it. What a catch by Mookie Betts.
Now, Clifford looking for a clean inning here in the seventh. Hit well out to right center field. Jones still on the move, running out of room, and he made it!
Back to Beyond the Ballpark. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Moran, alongside Brandon Cunningham. Today, we are continuing our team series. We are actually in the home stretch now. We are talking about Chicago Cubs. Cubs, I mean, I don't know. They're kind of in the middle a little bit. There's some things that work with the team, but then other things that don't work. But we will get you all covered on the Chicago Cubs in this episode today. We'll give you all you need to know about the team from the north side of Chicago. But before we do that, make sure you follow us on your platform, wherever you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Leave a rating or review if you can. If your app offers that, greatly appreciated. We love the support. Make sure to download the episode. That makes sure, that helps us know, what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So make sure to do all those things. And check out the merchandise. We got some pretty cool merchandise. We got the hoodies out. Brendan and I both have one. And Brendan, you can confirm that it's pretty awesome, right?
They are definitely soft and good quality. I definitely recommend getting one. They're really good sweatshirts. I wear them out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've worn mine a few times. It's really nice, and it's definitely a good pickup. You get it at a bargain price. So make sure to check out the merchandise, which will be linked in the description of this episode, as always. But let's get into talking about the Chicago Cubs. And Brendan, start us off.
Starting off the catcher position, we have Yan Gomes. Mostly Contreras, long-time catcher of the Cubs. He's been here a few years, or actually, not, I should say a few. More than that. But he's gone now to the Cardinals, division rival. So now they have Yan Gomes, who's really 35 years old. He's, coming to the end of his career, and he's okay. But I feel like he should really be starting. In 2022, he had 277 at-bats with 235 average, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, OPS 625. Okay for a catcher. They're getting a little older, though, so who knows if those stats will, continue to be this high going into 2023 season. So that can definitely be a worry. That can definitely, catcher can be an improvement for them. Hopefully, maybe trade, they can get someone else better, because Yan Gomes, if you want to be competitive, should be starting.
Now move on to the first base position. Originally, we had down another guy, but he's gone, and got a new face in here, Eric Hosmer. Brendan, of course, knows a little bit about Eric Hosmer. He played with the Red Sox down the stretch after getting traded there from the Padres. But then they DFA'd him and he was released. He was a free agent. Now he's with the Cubs. In 2022, 380 at-bats, 268 average, 8 homers, 44 RBIs, no stolen bases, and a 716 OPS. Eric Hosmer, I mean, he's good. He's serviceable, I think, at this point in his career. But he also has another issue where he can't really hit the ball in the air. If he did, it'd be a lot better for his game, but that's not really something he tends to do. He kind of beats the ball into the ground a little bit, so that's kind of why the numbers are a little bit down. But yeah, he's an okay player, and of course I can never forgive him for what he did to the Orioles in 2014 when he was on the Royals. and they beat us in the ALCS. But he's a good player. He's fine. And it was kind of just a solid addition for the Cubs.
Now at second base, we have a nice young player. We have Nico Horner. Nico Horner, after struggling a little bit at the major league level, really showed in a almost full season that he could play. In 2022, in 481 at bats, he had 281 average, 10 home runs, 55 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, OPS 737. Really good improvement for Nico Horner. He's a great fielder. And he's 25 years old, so he's young. And 20 stolen bases, we show speed, averages up. If you get that higher and more home runs, that could be a big improvement for his game, and he could definitely be real nice for the Cubs because he is a nice young player. I think a lot of teams would like to have him because, wow, he's talented. He's a bright spot for the Cubs.
Now we move on to the shortstop position here. This is a very exciting player who was just acquired this free agency. Dansby Swanson, very big acquisition, one of the big four shortstops on the free agent market. Not anymore because all four of them have officially signed. But Dansby Swanson is a very, very good player for our number one overall pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks out of Vanderbilt. 640 at-bats in 2022, 277 average, 25 homers, 96 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, 776 OPS, as well as Gold Glove defense over at shortstops. This is a massive pickup for the Chicago Cubs. This is great for them. They finally have a great, great shortstop. Obviously, they moved on from Javi Baez in 2021 when they traded him to the Mets. But Javi Baez didn't play out well for the Tigers this year last year in 2022. So this is a great pickup, but there also is some risk I would like to note. So this is really the only time that Dansby Swanson has truly broken out like this. Obviously, he had a great year in 2021, but this was like kind of a better season overall for him. So we'll see how he does moving forward. But I think this is a great pickup for the Cubs, and I think there's a lot of upside here in Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, another nice player they have at third base is Patrick Wisdom. Who had another real nice season after coming off 2021. In 469 at-bats, he had a 207 average, 25 home runs, 66 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, and OPS 724. Great stat line for him. Maybe the average go up a little bit. That'd be good for him. But still, really nice season for him. He's a great piece to have. 31 years old, he's a little older, probably in his prime right now, but he's still a really nice player. This is really helping them. You can see the Cubs make a run at something because this guy's the reason. He's a really good player. Surprised they didn't trade him last trade deadline. I thought they weren't going to, but they held on to him. And, they could work it out because his team isn't looking that bad with him in the lineup.
Now we move on to the left field position. A guy that we all thought was going to get traded at trade deadline. Ian Happ. Ian Happ is very, very good switch hitter. And he's really underrated guy as well for the Chicago Cubs. And 573 at-bats in 2022. 271 average, 17 homers, 72 RBIs, 9 stolen bases with a 782 OPS. I believe he also made the All-Star team in 2022, which is pretty awesome for him in terms of his career, and that's a great milestone to reach. But he's just a great player, and I like him a lot. I think a lot of people need to appreciate Ian Happ because he really is a great player for the Cubs, and he's part of a pretty solid offense right now for them.
Now in the center field, just acquired in this offseason, former MVP, we have Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, we all know the story. Cody Bellinger came out when he came to the majors. He was really, really good. Won the MVP in 2019, but then fell off a cliff. He was not good in 2021, but in 2022, I feel like he showed some signs of improvement. Still not great, but better than it was before. In 504 at-bats, he had a 210 average, 19 home runs, 68 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, and OPS 654. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I feel like he still plays good defense. That's why he's on the team. So I feel like he can still bring some value to the team. He's definitely not going to probably win MVP, but I feel like he's 27 years old. He's still young, relatively not getting his prime now. So I feel like he can keep on making these steps forward. He can, maybe get back not to MVP, but still like maybe All-Star. All-Star is best he can get back to. There's still some hope for Cody Bellinger to get back there.
Yeah, definitely a make or break season for him in Chicago. And now we got the right fielder acquired from Japan last offseason. He was a big Japanese sensation of last offseason, Seiya Suzuki. 397 at-bats. He has a 262 average, 14 homers, 46 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, and a 769 OPS. I think it's pretty good from Seiya Suzuki. Obviously, he kind of has to transition over from Japanese baseball because obviously Major League Baseball is a bit of a tougher task than Japanese baseball. Nothing against Japanese baseball, but pitchers don't really throw as hard over there. So there is an adjustment period from any hitter coming over from Japan. But Seiya Suzuki is really, really good. I think he was kind of able to ease in there with the Chicago Cubs, and I expect him to have an even better season in 2023. I think a lot of the signs are pointing in the right direction for him, and I think he's going to be a really solid outfielder for them next season.
And definitely now you have a DH of Christopher Morel. The rookie last year had a real nice season. At 379 at-bats, he had 235 average, 16 home run, 47 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases, and OPS 741. Like I said, he was a rookie, only 23 years old, going to his second season in 2023. And he has looked great. I mean, great for rookie season. Those stats are, really good for a rookie. I think he's a real nice player for the Cubs to have. He's usually center fielder, but we put him in DH because we feel like everyone else has their spots. But yeah, he's a really good player, really young talent for the Cubs. As time goes on, he can get better and maybe take another stride forward this season. Maybe get to 250 average, 25 home runs would be a nice, step forward for him because he's a really good talented player.
Now we move on to the starting pitching side of things. We got Marcus Stroman, the Stro Show, as he's called sometimes. He had a really nice season with the Mets in 2021, and then got a nice payday by the Cubs in 2020 in the offseason. And he's pretty decent in 2022. 25 games, 6-7 record, 3.50 ERA, 138 2/3 innings pitched, 119 strikeouts, 1.15 WHIP. I think Marcus Stroman maybe not an ace, but maybe like a mid to back of the end of the rotation starter more likely. But he's still a very productive pitcher, and I think 2021 was a great season for him, as I mentioned. So I think there's a lot going for him moving forward. He has a very good track record. He's a very solid pitcher, and I think he's just going to be a productive arm for this Cubs team in 2023.
Definitely. Now we move on to the number 2. We have Jameson Taillon, also acquired in offseason. He was recently with the New York Mets in 2022. And in that 2022 season, in 32 games, he had an ERA of 3.91, 177.1 innings played, 151 strikeouts, and a WHIP of 1.13. Good stat, Jameson Taillon. Hopefully he can bring it over to Chicago. This rotation isn't that – not great. They don't have a lot of great guys, but if he can be good for them, they really appreciate it because pitching is definitely their biggest problem right now for the Cubs, and hopefully he can make it better.
Now I got the number 3 starter, kind of a younger pitcher, but he had a nice, sample of time at the mid level. Javier Assad, player that I don't know too much about. He's 25 years old, and he showed some promising stuff moving forward for the Cubs. 9 games, 2-2 record, 3.11 ERA, 37 2/3 innings pitched, and 30 strikeouts and a 1.46 WHIP. I don't know how many innings he's going to throw and how big his workload is going to be, but we'll see. We'll find out. And he showed a lot of stuff to be in this Cubs rotation. So we'll see what the Cubs do with this young arm here in Javier Assad.
Now I move on to the 4th pitcher. We have Adrian Sampson, 31-year-old. Ever since he got into Chicago, he's been pitching great for them. And 2021 was no different. In 21 games, he had an ERA of 3.11, 104.1 innings played, 73 strikeouts, and a 1.23. Great stats from him. Another bright spot in this rotation, surprisingly. There's a couple good guys. Hopefully, he can keep it up. He's getting a little older now, but still probably in his prime. So yeah, if he can just keep his stat line up, it'd be great for them and help win some games.
Now we got the fifth starter here, Hayden Wesneski. He was in the Scott F. Ross trade at this year's trade deadline. He came over. He's kind of an MLB fringe player. Again, 25 years old, just like Javier Assad, and he played pretty well with the Cubs. He made 4 starts out of 6 appearances, and Javier Assad made 1 relief appearance out of his number of appearances. 6 games, 3-2 record, 2.18 ERA, 33 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts for Hayden Wesneski, as well as a .94 WHIP, which is pretty great. And obviously, it's a very small sample. There's not a lot to take out of this, but I think there's a lot of positives for Hayden Wesneski, and this could be a nice little return here for Scott F. Ross, who was shipped out to the New York Yankees at this trade deadline. So I think Hayden Wesneski could be a good pitcher for this Cubs team.
Now on to the bullpen, starting off for the closer. The rookie, 27-year-old rookie, Brandon Hughes, had a nice rookie season for a 27-year-old. In 57 games, he had ERA 3.12, 87.2 innings played, 68 strikeouts, and 1.09. A great season from him. Surprised 27-year-old, but a rookie. But he's playing great. He's playing great for his Cubs team. We're a team that needs pitching. He's not one of the problems. He's been playing great, and hopefully keep it up into 2023. Because as a closer, it's a lot of pressure. So, and have this nice stats is really good for him and good for the organization.
Now we got reliever number 1 here, Rowan Wick. The numbers aren't as amazing as some other relievers in baseball, but he threw a lot of games for the Cubs. He was able to be a very serviceable arm. 64 games, 4-7 record, 4.22 ERA, 64 innings, 69 strikeouts, and a 1.69 WHIP. Kind of a high WHIP, but Rowan Wick is pretty good, and I think he'll be probably good moving forward for this Cubs team. Like, he's productive. He's going to give you innings, and he'll just kind of be a quality reliever on the radar for the Cubs in 2023.
Yeah, now on to the second relief pitcher we have, Michael Rucker. A guy that, pitched a lot. Numbers are okay, but he was one of the guys who pitched a lot for this Cubs team in 2022. In 41 games, he had ERA 4.95, 54.2 innings played, 50 strikeouts, and a 1.28. Great stats from him. Keep it up. 20 years old, so he's in prime right now. So that maybe means keep it up through the season. That'd be great for them because he's one of their top guys in the bullpen. So yeah, if he just keeps it up, that was my second year in the major league. So that was a real nice year from him. Hopefully, like I said, keep it up.
Now we move on to the prospect section here. We got Pete Crow Armstrong in the Cubs organization. This kid is a 20-year-old. He's 6 foot, 184 on the weight, and then guy's left-handed, throws left-handed. He was drafted by the Mets in the first round of 2020, 19th overall. He is expected to come up in 2024. Pete Crow Armstrong was obviously in the Javi Baez trade at the 2021 trade deadline. I think the Cubs are ultimately going to win this trade because they got the longevity out of Pete Crow Armstrong. For 2 teams in 2022, he spent 2022 with A and high A ball, Myrtle Beach and South Bend. Overall, the numbers: 312 average, 376 on base, 520 slugging, and 896 OPS. 101 games played, so good for him to stay on the field. 423 at bats, 89 runs, 132 hits, 20 of them being doubles, 10 of them being triples, 16 of them being home runs, as well as driving in 61 runs, 36 walks, and 102 strikeouts, as well as 32 stolen bases. Very athletic kid. If we look at the grades here, 55 hit tool, 50 power tool. Yeah, he's not a huge power guy, but definitely brought that into his game in 2022. 60 run grade, 55 arm grade, 70 field grade. He's a great fielder, and 55 overall. Pete Crow Armstrong, I've read about stuff, is going to be one of the next great outfielders for this Cubs team. think there's a lot to like about his game and has a ton of upside. Now, there is a lot of risk, but I think the talent's through the roof, and I think he's going to be really, really good for the Cubs in the future.
Now I on the jersey section. Cubs have 4 jerseys. I can't remember if me and Patrick have a different jersey list, but I'm gonna start with mine at number 4. We have the away jersey, of course. Number 3 is the alternate. This is the blue one. It's okay. I just feel like better options. And number 2, we got City Connect. The Wrigleyville one. The jersey's good. Hats okay. Dark blue, the light blue Wrigleyville. It looks good. But at number 1, I got the home jersey. I think the pink stripes, which is so iconic. I like any pink stripe jersey, so this is definitely not a coincidence. So, yeah, really good jersey from the Cubs. I give it a score out of 8 out of 10. Just a lot of iconic jerseys. The Cubs are an old team, and everyone knows Cubs jerseys, so these are 8 out of 10.
We have the same list. I have the away jersey 4, alternate 3, City Connect number 2, and home number 1. I think the home is just a classic jersey. It's the staple, and it's one of the greatest jerseys of all time. And I think the Cubs jerseys are solid. I agree, 8 out of 10. Cubs jerseys are very classic in the way they look. So I agree with everything you said, and I like Cubs jerseys a lot.
Yeah, now I wanted the favorite player section. Nico Horner. I just think he's really nice, young, versatile player. He does everything. He's got speed. He swings that nice. Good fielder. So I just like him. Yeah, he's just a really nice player, young player. I think he can grow into an all-star. Maybe like that'd be really good for him.
For me, I want Christopher Morel. I think he's a pretty exciting rookie for the Cubs. And I think he's going to be a great piece moving forward. And there's a lot to be excited about with Christopher Morel as he brought on a very strong rookie season.
Now I'm on the free agents section. We have Zach Greinke. We said earlier this team needs some pitching, and I think Zach Greinke also bring a veteran presence to this. They have a lot of young players, and he can just kind of, influence them with his knowledge because he's been pitching this in MLB for a long time. He's only one of the only few free agents left. There's not a lot left here. Started on this spring training's coming up soon, so it's got him pitched clean. But he's still left here. I think he'd be great for him.
Yeah, like you said, I think he could bring a great veteran presence for a very young team in the Chicago Cubs, and I think there is something to be valued there. For kind of a rebuilding team to have that good locker room guy, and also brings a great hardworking attitude. So Zach Greinke would be a pretty good fit. But that's all we have for today. Happy New Year to everyone. I believe this is the second episode of 2023. So that's great. Entering our third year, and I think we have like 4 teams left in the team series. So it's fantastic. Finally winding down. I'm ready to be done, and that's pretty much all I got. Brendan, any other thoughts before we head out?
Yeah, one step closer. Finish this series. Get back to some other stuff. Could be interesting to see. Maybe probably we're done with the start of the season, and probably be almost there. Spring training will be almost there, so that'll be good to see. And yeah, I think I'm excited to finish this.
Yeah, well said. And with that, we will see you next time.